What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today we will continue our discussion about Python. So this is another Python tutorial, and if you want to review all of our past discussions so that you will be able to understand what we'll be talking today, I suggest you click over there. There's a card there that you want to check, and you can watch the previous videos before you continue watching this video. So do it first before you go back in this video. But if you're already done watching them, we can continue with our next lesson, and we will be talking about tuples. So tuples are very similar to lists, however they have one key difference, which is the immutability. When you say immutable, it means that you cannot change the characteristics of an object. Okay, so that is the one key difference between list and tuples. Once an element is inside a tuple, you cannot reassign it and you cannot change its value by item assignment. So you can use parentheses as their syntax. Let us continue exploring these concepts in Jupyter Notebook. Now I took a screenshot of everything in my notebook, so you can just use your own notebooks to follow everything that I will be coding. So first, let's compare tuples with lists. This is the difference between the two. So when you say tuples, you use parentheses as their symbol, but you use square brackets for lists. And if you want to make sure that you just created a tuple, you can use the type function. You can use type parentheses, and then inside the parentheses is write the variable for your tuple or tuple, or either of the two pronunciation, they're the same. And you can see if your variable is a tuple or a list, just like what you can see in the presentation today. Now let's first go with the checking of the length of a tuple. So just like in list, you can use the keyword len or the function len. Inside the parentheses, you write the variable. Now if you can see here in the presentation, you will see that 3 is the result of the len parentheses t, because we only have 3 items in variable t or in tuple t. And also, just like in list, you can mix them, so you can put strings and integers inside the same tuple. You can also put string, integer, and float inside the same tuple. It will still work. Also, you can do indexing and slicing in tuples just like in list. So for example, in the first example here, you have your t is equal to 1, which is a string, and 2, which is an integer. And when you say t and then square bracket 0, which is the index position, you will have the return of 1, which is the string 1, which is in index position 0. If you do t negative 1, you will get the last object in your tuple, which is number 2 or integer 2 in our case. Now let's talk about methods in tuples. So there are 2 methods that you can use in tuples. First, we have the index, and then second, we have the count. Let's talk about the 2 of them right now. So count method will count how many times an object appeared in your tuple. So just like in our example, we set first a tuple. So we say t is equal to string A, and B. So A, B. Now if you want to know how many times did letter A appear, then you can say t.count, and then inside the parentheses you will write the string A or the character A. If you can see here in the example, we have the result of 2. Why? Because letter A appeared twice in our tuple. So that is why we have a count 2. Also, just like in lists, when we say indexing, we are able to grab a part of your string, list, or in this case a tuple, by indicating the index position. When we use indexing in tuples, it shows us the index position of the very first time an item appeared in your tuple. So for example, in our case, t is equal to a, b, and when we say t.index, inside the parenthesis is character A, what we will have as an output is number 0. Why? Because if you can see, character A appeared in the very first index, which is index 0. That's why as an output we have 0, because it says that this character appeared for the first time in index 0. Now let's talk about the main difference between list and tuples. We have here the immutability of tuples. Now if you try to do item assignment in list, just like in this example, so for example, I say my list index 0 is equal to new, you will not experience any error because item assignment is supported by the list. Okay, just like what you can see in this example. But if you try to do the same thing with tuples, what you will have is an error. And if you want to diagnose the problem of the error, always read the part in the type error there at the bottom. So you can see that it says tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, so that means you cannot do item assignment in tuples. So basically, that's the main difference between tuples and lists. Now, there's a big question that will appear. Why do you need to use tuples in the first place when it is less flexible? There are less methods that you can use and you cannot change the value of the tuple. Well, according here, since the main difference between tuples and lists, when are you going to use the tuples? For now, as a beginner, you will not appreciate the value of tuples, but if you will be an advanced Python programmer, then you will see that tuples can be used if you don't want your data to be accidentally altered by your users. Okay, so you need to secure your data. That's why you are going to use tuples. But if you are going to use lists instead of tuples, there's a possibility that your users might be able to change the data that you set, and you don't want that to happen to avoid any malfunctions or any bugs. So yeah, that's it. That is our discussion regarding tuples and the difference with tuples and lists. If you want to really watch this video, just do it, and then I want you to do it also in your own Jupyter notebooks so that you will get the glimpse of what we talked about here. So I guess that's it for today for our discussion with tuples. So if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you are not yet subscribed, subscribe now, and then hit that notification bell button so that you will be updated whenever I will upload any video. Stay hydrated, stay healthy, drink water, and wash your hands. See you in the next video.